Hi viewers, I welcome you all to this Programming World channel. In this channel, we posting videos to help the people who wants to learn the C programming in a simple manner. So in that perspective, yeah, we posting this video. In this video tutorial, we will discuss about how we can create the user-defined data type using union programming element. Right, so now we go to this session. So first of all, what is the introduction of this? So why we have this union programming element? In the sense it is used for creating the new data type as the structure programming element, uh, structure programming element used for making the new data type. But what is the difference between structure and union? In the sense structure, it is what taking all the values for the programming elements, but whereas the union, it is what taking any one of the element only at the time of execution. So it is what having a conditional based execution. So in a in a particular moment, so what element to be used for taking the value in the application. So the steps to be used for making this data type using the union, which are discussed here. So very first we have to go with what the union keyword to create the new data type. Afterwards we have to declare the elements of the union by using the primitive data types labels. Afterwards, yeah, we can create the variable for the union data type, so that could be used for access the elements whatever given in the scope. Then the dot operator, which is recommended, or the dot operator which is what used to connect the elements of the union with the union variable. Then the syntax wise, as I mentioned that, so we have to go with the union keyword. Afterwards we have to provide the data type name. Then within the scope we have to declare the union elements to be used for making the new data type. Then example here you can find that, so the product, it is what the new data type name, where it has to take it takes what two elements like product ID in integer type and then product category in character. But please understand one thing, that in one execution the product ID based execution may be done, in another execution the product category based execution may be done. So that is what completely memory efficient one, but it is what based on the kind of logic to be made for executing the application. So most preferably it is recommended for what implement in the embedded applications, because there we cannot give more amount of memory, so it is completely memory constraint based. So in such kind of executions you can find the union data type, which helps you to what process the signals, because many input devices may be connected, but all those are connected in a particular memory blocks. So what happens is in a particular moment one signal may be received and that could be processed in the application. So in such cases we can go with what the union data type, which help us to take the input signals in particular moment and also take into our executions. Then so here you can find a few notes about what how to use the union data type, and what about the things to be followed for having the union data type. One thing is what semicolon to be present or placed at the end of the union scope. Afterwards the union variable declaration, that is what very similar to how we take the variables for primitive data type. And if you want to have a very simplified name for our union user defined data type, then you can go with the type def. And for accessing the elements we have to use the same format specifier what we have for primitive data types. And finally, as I mentioned that the union which works what based on the memory blocks which is assigned according to the highest memory block size which is declared in the data types. Then the difference between the structure and union here. So both structure and union are used for what making the new data type. And structure wise the memory blocks will be given to all elements, whereas in union what happen is the memory blocks will be assigned based on the higher data type element which is declared. And all elements can be processed in execution in structure, but whereas in union any one of the union element could be processed. So it is what completely based on the logic and also the need of the implementation. Then structure may be used for creating the data type which requires all its elements all time. So as I mentioned that, so structure, it is what composed with the different elements. All elements will be processed, in the sense assigned and also accessed during the program execution. But whereas union wise, any one of the element only will be processed. So we have to create the control logic which can help us to take the input based executions. And finally structure, it is what no memory efficiency, but actually not like that, because all elements of the structure to be used in the program. So definitely all programming element, all data elements which are declared in the structure needs their own memory blocks to be used for assigning and also accessing the values. But whereas union wise, what happen is the highest data type that based on that the memory blocks will be assigned, so that will be shared by all different elements what we have in our code. So now I would like to discuss. So here you can see a data type product which is created by using the union product category, or so integer product category is what. So it's not highest in the sense the integer, it is what highest because it takes what the but whereas the character it takes only one of my. Okay, so that will be done based on it takes more memory blocks. So you can find the union data type which takes what the data memory size based on the data type which is what highest one. So that's why you see here in the very first statement I provided a statement to understand about the size of the union data type like product. Okay, then you can see that I have used the type def to use type def to have an alternate name for our union data type. Okay, so instead of what using union product to have our variable, simply we can go with what product, then simply we can create the variable. So that is the exact purpose of having the type def. Okay, so easily we can recall the data type and simply we can use the statement to create the variables easily. Okay, so the later statements whatever we have in this, so these are all about what taking the inputs for the union elements and also what displaying them. But actually it cannot be executed for all the elements. Why? In the sense it's what memory constraint based. So any one of the which element which is what which comes first in the execution, that will be what processed, because that 4 bytes of memory block will be occupied for one data. So definitely the rest of the variable could not be processed. Okay, so now you can see this in this execution. So output will show that the blocks of our union data type like 4 bytes, because of what, as I mentioned, that integer it is what the highest union element in this scope. So according to that, the 4 bytes of memory block which is assigned for our union, and it is asking for the input. Once I provided an input here, automatically the program will be start. It may not take the input for what the category. Why? In the sense already have mentioned that. So one integer value completely takes what 4 bytes of memory. So definitely that cannot be allowed further to take the next input. But whereas suppose when you take 4 input for product category, definitely it will be allowed. Why? In the sense 4 bytes that could be used for 4 characters. So that time we can go with what 4 products category in our execution. But whereas when it comes to what the product ID based, so the product category cannot be allowed because it's completely occupied for integer value. Okay, and I would like to show the so in our previous example, yes, we have a pointer data type which is created by using the structure. So here you can see that I have taken one more statement here, that is the memory size which will be declared for our structure data type like point. Okay, so from this you can understand that here you can see that we have 2 integer structure elements. So the total memory bytes allotted is what 8 bytes. But in the union case, what happens is we have integer and character. It takes only what the 4 bytes of memory according to the integer data type what we provided. But whereas when it comes to structure, what happens is, so it will allocate the memory for what all the structure elements. So first 4 bytes will be given for what x coordinate, and second 4 bytes will be given for y coordinate. That's why its memory size is what 8 bytes. But whereas in union, that is taking the memory size based on the highest data type which is declared in the union scope. Okay, that's why we got what memory size for the union data type product, it is what actually 4 bytes. I hope you people understand about the difference between structure and also union, and where we can use a union data type. So my dear viewers, please understand one thing, that union, it is what completely memory constraint based. So in embedded systems we can use it very effectively, because the memory utilization that would be very effectively managed by using the union programming element by creating a new data type in C programming. I hope you enjoy this. If you feel this video which helps you to understand about the union and also the difference between structure and union, please click on the like button and also share this video with your friends to understand about the difference between the structure and union, so that may help them to be ready for what the placement, because in placements this kind of questions may be asked. And also I request you, the people, those who are new viewers, so please subscribe this channel and also stay with us to take the new videos which can help you to improve your programming skills and also problem solving skills. We have posted the videos about some problems, how it could be solved by using C programming, and also the logic could be used for what implementing them. So please follow us and also improve your skills and improve your problem solving skills to take the placement interviews very easily and also get your placement offers. All the best for you all. Okay, thank you for watching this. Thank you.